Hey everybody, here I am, it's me, coming to you live. I need to close out things that give me notifications so I don't get distracted. I'm very easily distractible. So how's everyone tonight? I hope you're having a good night. I wanted to come on here live to talk about something that is really important to me and close to my heart. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty nervous about, talking about this on a live video on Facebook. So bear with me. So my son, Jameson, who is an amazing kid, he is turning 4. He's turning 4 on Monday. We're having a little party for him on Sunday. And he's just so awesome. It's been quite the journey with him since he was born. And I love how kids can really be like our best teachers. I don't know, until I had kids and experienced them, because I waited a while. I didn't have Jameson until I was 31. Yeah, I got pregnant when I was 30 and had him when I was 31. So a lot of people have kids earlier than me. Some people have them later than me, but I felt like I was kind of like an older mom. And obviously I have a 6-month-old now and I'm 35. But since I had children and started watching them grow and develop, it's pretty awesome how kids really are our best teachers. They're so simple, so they can sometimes teach us the best lessons. When sometimes, when you're an adult, the world is very confusing and there's so many elements to everything that you're sometimes you don't see the picture when it's right in front of your face, like the lesson. Kids really open your eyes to a lot of things and really teach you a lot. And I'm so grateful for my son Jameson for helping me. He's helped me in so many ways to pretty much come out of my shell. So I'll tell you, I will, do the backstory on Jameson and tell you about him. And then, of course, how he has helped me come out of my shell and face the world. I'm sorry if I seem awkward tonight because I'm nervous and a little, I get a little emotional talking about this stuff. And I don't like to be emotional in public. Okay, Jamie, so why don't you do a Facebook Live about it? It's a great idea. I gotta have a sip of my wine. Tell me hello if you're watching, where you're watching from. Tell me if you're watching the replay. Okay, so Jameson, who's about to be 4, I started noticing, I'm jumping ahead. He is on the autism spectrum. He has ASD, autism spectrum disorder. He actually does not have his official diagnosis yet. We're going to get that in time for when he starts kindergarten. He's in preschool right now. But I haven't pushed for an official diagnosis yet. Basically, as of right now, his diagnosis is just developmental disorder. So autism is communication. It's when people have issues with communication, that they have trouble reading people's emotions, expressing their own thoughts and emotions. Hey, Christy. Hey, Kathy. And it's a whole spectrum. You know, you hear there are people who are more like high functioning, which I consider my son to be on that end of the spectrum, where he is very high functioning. And then, you know, there's the other end of the spectrum where people can't even talk, like they can't communicate at all. Hey, Alicia. I hope I'm saying your name right. Hi, Carrie. So yeah, I consider my son to be on the side of the spectrum that is very high functioning, and, you know, obviously I'm incredibly grateful. But, you know, I'll start my story off that I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea what part of the spectrum he was going to be on, etc. Hey, Etha. So when Jameson was probably around 13 months old is when I started worrying about him. And I remember getting those emails from Baby Center. If you're a mom, you know about this. You know, like Baby Center sends you these emails every week about your child and their development, what they should be doing. And most people read it and then they're like, oh crap, is my kid doing that? Is my kid doing that? And you worry, and then you worry for nothing, and then your kid starts doing it and you're like, whew, okay. Well, so I started getting the emails about, like, could your child have autism? And of course I automatically thought, there is no way that my child would have that. So sure, I'll read the email, I guess he has like a couple of those traits, but my kid is definitely not autistic. There's just no way. And so it was like, I kept reading like little things, like little like symptoms of it. And, hey Jamie, hey Lauren. Did I already say hi to you, Lauren? I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous, so, another sip of wine. So I, was getting the emails, and then I started, like, because a couple of the things stood out to me and I was a little worried, I, was Googling autism and like what the symptoms were, just reading a little bit about it, Google. I love Google. Actually, I hate Google, but I can't live without Google. And the more and more I read, I was like, okay, well, oh man, he has that. He does do that. Like, I'll give you some examples. Like, he was not, he didn't have too much eye contact. Like, he had some, so that was also confusing. He did have eye contact, just not a lot. He was not waving. He was 13 months at this time that I was worried. He was not waving. He was not giving me any gestures. He didn't have any words, but when do kids, I don't even know when kids are supposed to talk. My youngest is only 6 months. Don't they, maybe they have a first word when they're like a year old, I guess. I don't know. But he didn't have any words. But he also didn't have any gestures. He didn't have waving. He didn't have clapping, no clapping. He really couldn't ever express to me if he was hungry. It was always like, he's crying. I don't know what's wrong. Let me do everything, like with a newborn. Let me just try everything and see if that works. And, he was hungry. He was hungry. Hey, Diana. I hope my phone doesn't. I had my phone at half battery and I was afraid to come on here because I was afraid my phone was going to die during this, because I hope I don't talk too long. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. So So yeah, I noticed a lot of these things that were lacking. That, you know, as far as development, he was not doing these things. He was spinning toys. He was that's like a typical autism like trait, like when they're little, that they like, instead of playing with a car, you know, spinning the wheels of the car, he was doing that. And he really just didn't want my attention. Like, he was totally content playing by himself. And it's like a double-edged sword. Like, part of me is like, yes, he wants to play by himself, and I can do something that I want to do. But then the other part of me is like, why doesn't he want to play with me? Why doesn't he want my attention? Why doesn't he want to show me his toys, show me what he's doing? He never really wanted to socialize with me at all. And so you know, I brought it up to the pediatrician, and they gave me the number for the early intervention, and I was terrified to actually go through with it, because I felt like that would just seal the deal. That I would just, I would find out officially that there was something wrong with him, and I didn't want to like face that, but I also kept reading online that the earlier that you get intervention, that the more likely that, you know, they can succeed in life, etc. So I don't know what that message is. Storage almost full. I hope I stay connected on here. I have no idea what my phone battery is. I wish I could like plug it in while I'm doing this, but the cord won't reach. Hey Kathy, your daughter talked when she was 2.5, Jamie. I'm getting to that. I'll share with you guys about Jameson as far as speech. So I had early intervention come when he was like 14 months, I guess. No, I think it was a little after. It was 13 months is when I was starting to worry. So it was probably like 14 or 15 months when they came out to, what do they call it? No, not a diagnosis, just to watch him. Like, they spent like an hour or two with him and, you know, tested him. They came to the house and it was free, and that was nice. And so, basically, you know, the results were, you know, he's 15 months old, and his communication development level was that of like a 9-month-old. Like, some of the things said like 9 months, or some of them said 12 months. And he was like 15 months at the time. So it was kind of like just confirming what I already knew, but didn't really want to know. And yeah, I did this even though, you know, I had like talked to a few family members about it beforehand, and friends, and of course people, they don't want something to be wrong, and they don't want you to worry, because 9 times out of 10 when you worry about something, like, there's really nothing wrong. And so I was always told that he's fine, like total good intentions by people who told me he was fine. So we were like, okay, what's the next step, which is therapy. Speech therapy and occupational therapy were recommended. Insurance was not going to cover that, and then we found out each therapy session was going to be $125 per session. So we kind of like didn't know what to do. So we just decided that we would at least take him one time a month. Like, we were going to start with that. We were going to do 1 session a month and pay out of pocket $125. And then I discovered this program online called Gemini, which I cannot say enough amazing things about Gemini. It was built by this mom who had twins who were autistic. She built this whole system, and it's basically videos where they say a word, and they do like close-ups of the mouth, and show pictures of what it is too. And I'm trying to think of the term for it. There's a term for video modeling. I don't know, something like that. Gemini, and I can't even remember how I found Gemini. It was probably you know how Facebook stalks you? Like the ads on Facebook literally stalk you, like they know what you're thinking. It probably popped up at that point. Thanks, Facebook. And it's actually a really awesome program, and it's like $99 a month, and you have unlimited access to all these videos. So I was like, okay, until we can figure out something with the therapy, we're going to use Gemini. Gemini was awesome. And the woman who made Gemini always says, like, some kids hate it and you have to like force them to watch. Well, he loved it. He watched those videos all day. You know, when they would say like lion, and they would like act it out too and go, what sound does a lion make? Roar. It was like just really repetitive. And that's another thing about people with autism spectrum disorder. They love repetition, you know, routine. My son like fits that to a T. So we had him watching Gemini, and he seemed to be really paying attention to it. And it was just crazy because, you know, he was almost 2 years old at this point, and didn't have a single word. He didn't have a single word. We knew there was intelligence there because we would test him. We had like flashcards with like tons of words on them, animals, and we'd be like, point to the lion, and he'd point right to it. And point to the letter G, and he would point, and he knew the whole alphabet. It was amazing. It was like, oh my God, this kid is really smart. He doesn't have a single word, but he is so smart. I feel like I should plug my phone in before I continue, because I'm having trouble concentrating, because I think I'm taking so long that I'm like, my phone is gonna die. My phone is gonna like die on me. And then what am I gonna do? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I wonder if I could move over here. Let me see. Let me try to move my lights. Ooh, that's horrible. Oh my God. No, that looks terrible. I'll try to talk and adjust lights at the same time. Okay, am I plugged in? Okay. So yeah, we knew he was a really, really smart kid. Oh, you can see there's a hole in my wall from the door. I'm in my guest room, by the way. So anyways, okay. Let's see if I can concentrate again. Oh God, no, not with that thing in the background. Not with that hole in the wall. So, okay, let me try to get back on topic. Now I'm holding the phone in my hand. I just don't want the phone to die while I'm talking, because that would suck. That's why I'm so OCD about keeping my phone 100% charged at all times. Okay, so, no, that looks bad. I'm sorry. I'm like getting way too distracted. So, oh, and then so when he was around 18 months old, he finally started clapping and waving after us like modeling it for him over and over and over again. It's like something clicked and he started doing it at 18 months. And I just was like crying. I was like so happy that I was like seeing progress. I was seeing progress with him. Like, I didn't know, like, when these issues came up, I just didn't know if, like, what was going to happen with my child. Like, was he just, like, never going to wave, never going to clap, never going to be able to communicate with us, with me? It was really scary. And I just remember being terrified, like when they told me that he had this severe developmental delay, that I was terrified for him, and also I felt really guilty because I felt like I was just like like writing him off like that was it, like he's broken. And that was when I was like, you cannot give up on your child. Like, do not give up. Like, I was so upset at myself for even thinking that. Oh my God, I so did not want to do this. I so did not want to do this. And that's when I decided to not look at it in that way, because I was looking at it all wrong. I was looking at it like there's something wrong with him, and he's broken. It was like there was like a mourning period, like this is not like the child of my dreams, and it made me feel awful. I just started looking at it a completely different way. And that he is special. He's really special. And we finally got him in, so he started speech therapy like a few months before he was 2. And then, so we were doing like one time a month at speech therapy because it was $125 out of pocket. And then miraculously our insurance decided they were going to cover it, so it was only a $25 copay, and that's when we amped it up to once a week. And we were so happy about that. And he finally said his first word like a week before his 2nd birthday. He said hi. And he said, oh, and then it was like we were having his birthday party, so we got him balloons, and we had him looking up, and he would like kind of point at them, and he would go boom for balloon. Like he was actually using a word like for a real thing, because he had all the sounds. That's why, like, when he was younger, and not speaking, like he was making all these like utterances, and I knew he had all the sounds. Like I knew if he could figure out, you know, what, like how to say like, I'm gonna use this word to say this thing. Like I knew he had the capability of speaking because I heard all the sounds. They just didn't mean anything. There was no like meaning towards the sounds he was making. Like they were just for fun, I guess. And so once he finally made that connection right before he turned 2, he made that like a light switch went off in his head where it was like, oh, that's what these sounds can be used for. And after that, his vocabulary absolutely exploded. I mean, he went from not saying a single word to all of a sudden his vocabulary must have been like 500 or 1,000. Like, I don't know. We quickly realized he was like a human computer, that he could memorize everything, every word for everything, numbers, letters, just everything. It was crazy, but he still wasn't using it in like a communication style. He wasn't expressing what he wanted. Like he still couldn't say that he was hungry or that he wanted to do something or that he had a dirty diaper or anything like that. It was just pure like dictionary status. Like he just knew the word for everything. And you know, he's come a long way. He has just amazed us with how brilliant he is. And now it's crazy, like I was reading a book to him. So he's going to be 4 on Monday. I was reading a book to him. I was reading Little Blue Truck to him at bedtime. And I noticed, because he actually wasn't doing this a few weeks ago. He was recapping what was happening in the story and asking questions. And I was like, wow, this kid has come so far. And it just amazes me. And back to the topic of, you know, how my son inspired me to come out of my shell is, I've always been such a shy person, an awkward person. I didn't have any friends. I was scared to talk to people. And I just realized, like, once we were pushing him so much to be social. I was like, please, please communicate. Please be social. Please. I was like, and wondering, is my child ever going to have a friend? I remember having these thoughts. Is my child ever going to have friends? Can he make friends? Would he even be able to have a conversation with someone, like a normal conversation, not just math problems? Because that's how smart he is. He does math. He's not even 4. He started reading when he was a little after he turned 2. He reads fluently right now, and he's not even 4. Like, the kid is like, wow. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud because I went from such like a worried, dark place with him, like really, really dark place. I just remember, oh God, back when he was so much younger, I would literally cry every day. I would cry every day just wondering like what was going to happen. What was going to happen with him? I didn't even know if he would ever speak. And that is like, God, it was so gut-wrenching just to not even know if your kid is going to be able to say a word. And just see how far he has come. It made me look at myself. Okay? Like I was saying before, kids teach us our biggest lessons in life. Okay? I could never ask somebody else to do something that I'm not willing to do. So when I'm like trying to get him to talk to people, to communicate, to be social, I looked at myself and was like, what are you doing? Like, you need to be an example. You need to be an example for him. And what a shame that you wasted 30 years of your life being scared of people, being scared of what people think. Being like, oh my God, somebody talk to me, like my face is going to turn red and I want to go cry and crawl under a rock. Being so scared of people, of making friends, scared of keeping friendships. And I was like looking at myself like, and we're saying that there's something wrong with him? Something's wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. Like, I need to take a look at myself before I start asking him to do something. So I did. I started looking at myself and I was like, I don't want another moment of my life to go by with me being scared of the world, being scared of making a friend, being scared, like, why are you so scared to talk to somebody? Why are you so scared? Like, why do you care what someone thinks about you? All these questions, all these issues of myself that I'm just like, no, let me see if I can move now that I've charged my phone a bit. If you're telling your son and you're hoping against hope that your son is going to grow up and have friends and make friends and be social, you need to step up to the plate too. You need to be an example for him. And he's given me that. He has given me the perspective to look at myself and not just look at him and say like, what's wrong with him? Like his communication issues. Like look in the mirror. Look at your communication issues. You're not so good. You're not so good at that, Jamie. But he has definitely taught me that you should never give up hope, because people can change. Like, to see the progress that he's had over the years, how, like, insane progress. Like, he's talking so well. Like, his sentence structure is amazing. And he's starting to express his feelings and emotions a little bit. You know, it's like day by day, little by little. And I'm never going to give up on him. And I have faith that he is going to grow up and do great things. He's an amazing kid, and he inspires me. He inspires me to progress. He's progressed so much in just, you know, in 4 years of life. Like, it's like, whoa, like, how can you even do that in 4 years? It makes me look at myself and say, you wasted 30 years of your life being shy and awkward, or thinking you were shy and awkward. It's all mental. It really is. It's all mental. All this mental crap that holds us back. It holds us back from life. It holds us back so much. But yeah, just to never give up. Don't give up on yourself. If there's something about yourself that you don't like, that you want to change, like something like that is holding you back in life, it's never too late. And you can change and you can progress. Because just look at Jameson. He is such an inspiration, and he teaches me so much. He really does. He really, really does. And I just, like, I look at him and I'm so proud. So proud of him. And I know he's going to do great things. I used to worry so much about him, and now I look at him and, like, I'm not saying I never worry. Of course, like, you never stop worrying about your kids. Never. But I have 100% faith in him and what we're doing for him, and all, like, you know, he goes to speech therapy, he goes to occupational therapy, he goes to a special school that is run by amazing people. Like, the people who run his school, who are his teachers, are just, oh God, they just, like, have so much of my respect, so much of, I thank them so much. Because, so, of course I worry about him, but I don't worry about him. Like, I know he's gonna be okay. And I know he's gonna grow up, and everything's gonna work itself out. We drive ourselves crazy worrying about things all the time. Like, we just worry, well, at least I do. Worry. Anxiety about everything. When everything is gonna be okay. Everything's gonna work itself out. That's just life. I mean, whatever's gonna be is gonna be, and you should never give up. Thank you, Lauren. So, that is why here I am and look, I'm so shiny. I have the driest skin in the world, and look at how shiny my face is. Oh, this is scary. My face has been, like, so hot this whole time talking about this. I'm like, whew, my face made me a little bit oily. Thank God for LimeLight, right? Trying to fix these lights. Oh, that's scary. It looks very scary. I'm glowing. Oh, I'm just glowing. It's just a glow. So anyways, that was probably really long. I hope I got my story out. I probably missed a lot of things. I always, like, write notes, and I always want to remember every little thing that I want to share, and then, you know, it's hard to keep track of all the points and stories that I wanted to tell. I'm sure there'll be more Facebook Lives that I could tell you more. But thank you so much for watching this, you guys. I really appreciate your support on here, and I hope, you know, maybe this reached someone who could identify and understand, and feel free to message me if you relate to this and just want to say something or ask a question. But yeah, Jameson definitely has inspired me to come out of my shell. He's changed me so much. And so has LimeLight. LimeLight was part of it. My LimeLight has been my vehicle, if that makes sense. It's like my vehicle that I'm riding on for my personal journey of becoming free of caring what people think, and you know, it's made me a lot of new friends, lots of friendships, which is what I wanted, which is what I needed, and which is what I want for my son too. So, happy birthday to Jameson. Well, his birthday's not till Monday, but I will say happy birthday to my boy, my wonderful Jameson, who I love so much. And I will say goodnight to you all, and thanks for sticking it out with me and watching this. And feel free to comment below also. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.